Hey, welcome back to the net. Sun-biased views, they're fast, they're furious. Topics to be covered today. Well, we are still buzzing in the aftermath of the amazing miracle we have seen down under. With me is Rohan. Rohan, welcome back.
Congratulations, first of all. And I mean, I have just been, thinking about this victory, and I couldn't possibly, fathom any explanation. Okay, so this is like we were talking before, and I said that it is beyond logic, and I think so. It's beyond logic because we don't understand the kind of team process that's going on, right? Everybody else, the experts, everybody else is on the outside, but the teams seem pretty confident. The way Rahane said that we didn't talk about the 36 all out. I mean, how can't you talk about the 36 all out in a team meeting or personally? I just salute to the team seriously because it's the hardest thing to do. Not talking about failures, it's amazing. It's ridiculous and it's beyond ridiculous.
Absolutely. I
This
mean, it's stunning. There is no words that can explain what might have gone through that one session where we just fell apart. And then all the memories that we have had from all these tours in the Sena countries where we have seen this happen many a times, not really
oh
36,
yeah,
but we
yeah.
have seen this happen many a times.
Yeah,
And
100 all outs. I mean, we have gone through those 100 all outs in New Zealand like n number of times,
many
right?
times, yes. New Zealand, South Africa, England, you name it, we
Everywhere.
have seen it all.
Yeah, yeah. But this is there will be so many adjectives given to this, but I would term this effort like it's a David Goliath sort of story that's there, and it is so mythological. It will be mythological in the future, but I would say that this is tenacious, really tenacious, and I haven't seen a better performance from any team for that matter in the past 20-25 years. So it's amazing, just amazing. And I mean, I lost for words, man. It's and I cried, by the way. I cried.
I
Yeah, so that happened.
absolutely, and considering all the things that we have seen in this tour, right? We had somebody like Siraj who's come through personal adversities. He lost his father, wherever he is, hope he's in peace. Then we had racial abuse happening. Then we had hospitality, different hospitality for Indian players. Then we had COVID protocols that were, the teams were not consistent with the rules with COVID protocols. Players leaving, broken bones, injuries happening mid-match, players not being able to complete even the same match they were playing in. And despite all that, we pull our weights through, come
Yeah.
back victorious. And when we sit back and look back, this series could so easily have gone 4-0 in either direction. It could have been 4-0 Australia, 4-0 India.
And all the factors that you mentioned have made this series more special because
Yes.
this started in 2020, which is the toughest year for human being, period. And playing uh, in 2020 is the hardest thing. I mean, you need to follow so many things, right? You're already in stress, and sports can't be played under stress. And then, performing like this, I mean, each and every player of that team deserves 5 crores each. And
Each
I
player.
think, yeah, they gave the entire team 5 crores, but I think each and every player should have gotten 5 crores. They have so much money lying there, so they should have given it to them because test matches, people should also know, and the sponsors should know that when there is value attached to test matches, So I think so they should have done that, but okay, no problem.
And the best part about this test match was this was old school test match. Pujara coming in, having a blockathon,
Yeah,
bowlers trying to pitch the ball up, get a swing going, try to buy wickets, batsman friendly tracks. So you have to buy wickets, you have to plan for wickets. Shane Warne kept saying all the time that John Buchanan, who was his manager way back in the days, his principle was if you have 18 dot balls, there is every chance of getting a wicket. So
yeah.
every time that I was watching the game, I was thinking about it like, okay, 1 run. Okay, so we straight again, 18 dot balls again to follow. And it was just an amazing effort considering the senior most bowler that we have, pacer, was Bumrah with 16 matches under his belt.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not the entire series. In fact, I wouldn't say that I didn't like the first test match. I would say that I loved it. Even the second test match, I loved. As a cricket lover, all the test matches were super tight, and only for that, like the one session here and there, the 36 all out thing. Otherwise, it was a riveting series. I mean, if you remember, the Ashes series was like this, and I can't remember any other series like that for a while, I suppose. And even the 2001 series wasn't like this. It was like, I think the last test match that happened was one-sided in Mumbai. It was a square turner or something. Karthik
Yes.
blew everyone away, if you remember. So it wasn't a fair sort of situation. Here, the pitches were very sporting, and I would like to give credit to the Aussies, to make those kind of pitches where everybody could compete. It wasn't
And
one-way traffic.
I will take a deeper dive into the whole statement that Hafiz made yesterday, Mohammad Hafiz from Pakistan, the professor made yesterday, about not just the pitches, but the fact that because India's infrastructure and India's academy have been so well versed in the last 8, 10 years, and thanks IPL for that as well. But the fact that what happens is there is talent all around the world. People have talent. What India now has is a product. And
Yeah.
talent can fail you when they come across something which is not really, within their area of expertise. But if you have a finished product who has played everywhere, they
Yes.
somehow try to find a way of pulling their weight up. It was a
True.
brilliant statement made by him.
I think there is more and more corporate structure after IPL, but there are still a lot of things wrong with the BCCI.
I
Let's not
mean,
forget that. Yeah, but
absolutely.
there is a system. There's a system in place, but it's not like yeah, it's not like the Aussie system. Okay, let's be honest. It's not the best system, but it's working for us for now. Again, Rahul Dravid has to be given credit. I mean, a lot of Pakistanis are mentioning his name in on the YouTube channels because rightly so. He has worked with these youngsters. You don't teach these things at senior level. It has been taught and put into them, and he has taught them a lot of things. More than the cricket, it's the discipline, I suppose, which has
Absolutely.
been inculcated.
Absolutely agree with you. It
So
has to be, Rahul Dravid has to be credited with everything that has happened good with batting. And if you look at it before Dravid, so four years back, maybe Dravid got his first crack at working with the team. Before that, the stats were the same. We haven't changed our Ranji structure. We have
yeah,
34 teams. 34 teams would mean that we have 68 openers coming out. But
yeah,
of those 68 openers, we could never really find two that will be consistent
right.
overseas. We barely had one, and the other one was always a makeshift. We would always bring up Murli Vijay for whatever reasons. But
Yeah. But
now,
I think, see, when there is a victory, of course, I don't want to be pessimistic, but when there's a victory, a lot of things are, brushed under the rug. So what happens is that, see, the openers haven't done well. Okay. Uh, the Shubman Gill has done well, and that's it. We don't have a pair. We have a player, right?
yes,
We have a player who has done well, but the opening thing is still underworks. It's not evolved enough, and they can falter. I think the test would be the England series overseas, and if they both can do well in that series and continue on. See, openers can't be judged in one or two matches, man. One series.
absolutely not.
Hey, Hayden Langer played for so many test matches. So they have to perform for like 20, 25, 30 test matches to be known as
Consistently.
an opening pair. Here, though, I mean, last series, what do you call, Mayank Agarwal was successful. Here, he wasn't even in the team; he was dropped. So, see, there are things which need to be worked out. But this victory is not based on logic. Okay,
A-
it's just passion. It's just passion and resilience.
Absolutely. The passion to play for the country. That is it. I mean, so many injuries, so many different talking points, turning points. Let's talk about those. We
Yeah,
have had those sessions where, like Sachin Tendulkar said, that we had a new hero in every session that we
right.
played. Somebody
True.
stood up. What do you think were the defining points of this series?
Oh goodness, there's so many, man. It's like I think the second test match, Rahane, batting well, that gave the entire team confidence. And the composure he showed. I would like to give him a lot of credit because without a composed captain, teams can go haywire. So
Absolutely.
first and foremost, I know he hasn't taken any credit for this victory. He has given it to everybody else. That's his humility. But I would like to give him most of the credit. And then, of course, individual talent shines with the bowlers coming in because he created that kind of atmosphere and he wasn't phased by Kohli going away. That's something when such a big player and personality goes away, it's not easy to carry the team in Australia. People can just shut down and die basically. So
Absolutely.
and it's the crowds are not easy, man. You mentioned that there was racial abuse, and people who have lived abroad, they understand what happens when you're racially abused. Your moral is down, man. And people like Siraj and others who fought through this. I mean, whoever came in, Natarajan was a net bowler, and I just jokingly mentioned to someone I was playing badminton with that this entire team will get a chance to play in this Test series. So I just jokingly said it, and it came true, and everybody performed. So it's ridiculous. I mean, especially Shardul Thakur and Washington Sundar, man,
And
they were like,
going
who
back
are
to
they?
that composure part that you mentioned about Rahane, that one gesture where Ravindra Jadeja got him out,
Hmm.
and Rahane, before going back, just bumped his fist and said, "You stay there,
Yeah,
you got
yeah,
this," and he walked away.
yeah,
No ill feelings,
yeah.
nothing bad, just but different characters. One test match back, Virat Kohli was out. He kept looking back as he walked and then walked away. It was like, just wait for you, wait for
See,
me to talk to
that's
you in the
Kohli.
dressing room.
That's Kohli for you right there. I mean, he would do that. I
And
know. And most North Indians will do that. Trust me. Most North Indians will do that. So
so
it's
here's the funny part, Rohan. With Kohli, we say that he is arrogant. He is, he does that, bring that sense on the field. But in a tour like this, when you are the closing fielders are talking non-stop, they're banter, they're chirping against you. You need a presence like Kohli in the field to counter that. And
you
in
need
this
it.
team, we just had Pant. I don't think Rahane might have spoken anything from the slips. Nothing,
Nah,
but it was all Pant.
no. But that's why I don't like Kohli as captain because I need him to sledge everyone. When you're sledging, you forget some decisions, right? Sledging is a full-time job. That's why I don't like him as captain because he gets distracted by his own sledging. That's the problem. So I think he
You,
should be given the role of the sledger, and everybody he should groom everybody to sledge others. But the captaincy should be left to someone who is more level-headed, and that would work out best for the team. That's my personal opinion, but I don't know. I feel like that, and yeah, a lot of names we have to mention, but man, Rishabh Pant, he's crazy, man. He's
he,
crazy.
and Shastri's words in the end, where the dressing room chat, where he mentioned something on those terms that Rishabh, you batted brilliantly, but you had our hearts in our mouth every single time we were facing the ball. And for the
You gave
first
us
time, I
that.
actually saw Rishabh Pant teary-eyed as well. Rishabh Pant was actually crying, trying to suppress or hide his tears. But
But he
taking
has
nothing
been,
away from SCG
yes,
test,
yeah, yeah, of course. He has been under a lot of stress after the IPL. And before that also because he has been dropped helter-skelter from every format and this was make or break for him. If he wouldn't have performed in this series, he was gone. Trust me, he was gone.
absolutely agreed, agreed.
So it was like really tough for him.
And he has
And
changed his game a little bit. If people may notice, he is taking 20, 30 balls in the beginning just to settle himself down, get a feel of it. Earlier, we saw that he was just, going haywire, going crazy after the bowling from the first get-go. So there
but
has been a slight change in his batting.
in test matches, he has always played like that. it's just when T20 and one ODIs come, he goes crazy, like he goes ballistic. Trust me, when he plays the first ball against England in a T20 or a ODI, he will go for it, the first ball, because
Absolutely agree. And
the format does that to you.
the fun thing was he was asked in the end, were there any special directions for you to go and win this test match? And he said, no. My job was, they said, play your natural game. He was not asked by anybody to go and chase the target. He was
Wow.
hanging in there. And in the last 50 overs, it was probably decided on the pitch between him and Sundar, where he said, if one of us gets out, the other one has to stick it till the end. And
I
no words
seriously,
can
I
do justice
appreciate
to
that.
what Sundar brought to
Appreciate,
this test match.
yeah, I appreciate that because the way, I mean, the worst thing that could have been said to any batsman out there was that you go for a victory or not,
Hmm.
right? So I think they went with the flow, and credit to the entire management that they did that, because it's very easy to tell people like go for it, and then they go for it and they get out, right?
Yes.
That was amazing. But Sundar was batting like he has played 100 test matches, man. He was, and even Thakur.
And the key moments as we talk about. So there is definitely that Ashwin and Vihari partnership, one with a
Dude,
broken band, one with a torn hamstring in the third
yeah,
test, which you that's as good as a victory. Let's face it. That
yeah,
saving the test match was as good as a victory.
yeah. I
But
think
then
I like the last test match better, actually.
I would agree with you. It was old school test
Was
match
a
where
draw, but the
you played for a
last day
draw.
of that, yeah, the last day of that test match was better than the last day of this test match. If you look at
I
it
I
from
I
a,
don't think I would be able to discriminate. I would say that I'd like both test matches, but it's just when
you
you
like
think.
winning too much, man. You like winning too much.
No, and it was amazing. I cannot put those things in words as to how the emotions go up and down when you watch that.
But
Even
watching someone, I don't know if I might be a purist, but watching that Ashwin Vihari partnership was more riveting for me than getting those, like the last session of the this test match, because that was like hardcore test match cricket.
and see, this for me is the difference between the way media in general tries to push T20 in our faces. When they show test matches, they may show that Shardul Thakur covered on drive or that six that he hit. How about just showing in the highlight reel, show a nice forward defensive shot or a nice duck or watching the ball go all the way, a bouncer you're watching the bouncer pass you. Those has to be a part of a highlight reel. If you
Yeah,
want to keep test cricket alive and you want to build a future for it, that has to be a part of it. Or for that matter, even a bowler trying to buy his wickets. We
right.
see highlight reel is usually a bowler just going in and bowling that ball and getting you out, an in swinger. Show the setup as well, where he tried three bouncers, two outswingers, and then he bowled that one ball.
But that depends on, I mean, it's there's a lot of other things at play. I mean, commercial things. But if they don't package Test cricket well now in India, they won't ever be able to package it well, because now in the England series, you need to package it really well, promote it like IPL. Why don't you promote it like IPL? They're one odd. See, I was not even aware that England is going to play in India. Seriously, I'm telling you, because I didn't see enough advertisements here. Only when the team was announced, I realized, oh my God, 5th Feb ko there's a match. So that's the difference. With IPL, they will kill us with their ads. That's the difference.
For me, if I was even in any planning committee in India, the way I would set it up is try to have test matches where the second, third, or third, fourth day fall on Saturday and Sunday. It
Yeah.
has to be a part of that. And on Fridays, I would, keep the gates open, half price, whatever it is, or allow kids to have vacation days from school and be a part of the stadium. But I feel if that is the criteria, 2 days of the test match have to fall uh, on a weekend. But that
No,
is just my way of keeping test cricket alive.
yeah, that has been going on. That has happened a lot, but it hasn't helped a lot. Because Test cricket is only limited to the big venues. That's the problem. If they take Test cricket to the smaller venues like my city up north in India, in Dehradun near Delhi, we have got a great stadium. We have hosted some one day matches and T20 matches, international matches. But if it comes here, imagine the crowds, man. Everybody wants to see the players because we don't get the opportunity. Rather than that, they have been doing it the other way around. They have been taking the one dayers and T20s to these small venues. I think so. The test matches should go there because in metros, people have lots of entertainment, portfolios to go to. Like they would go to a stand-up comedy show and etc. etc. But here there is limited form of entertainment that we can go to. So I think so that should be the strategy. And with digital, they can do a lot. I mean, they have got millions of millions of dollars. They can pump in into ads, but they're not doing it. You don't see a test match ad on Facebook and Instagram. Trust me.
I somehow feel that this Test match series will change quite a few things. The sense of belief that this Test match series has given to everybody. I mean, think about it. Who would have thought somebody like Washington Sundar would be considered for Test matches? And
True.
now he's not just playing it; he's dominating it. He and not just in. I mean, hooking the world's greatest bowler to a six over
Yeah.
fine leg
Yeah.
is something which we dream about. This is something that dreams are
Yeah.
made of.
But Keyor, I don't think so. It will change a lot because I don't think so. They value it enough. If Ganguly at the helm can't do it, nobody else can do it. So if
I'm
he has
keeping my
to do
fingers
it,
crossed. Dada,
he has. Yeah, he has to do it right now. I mean, he
and
can't wait because
in
if kill Test cricket, if you kill Test cricket, T20 dies. Trust me.
I and it's all about the money. You're right. But again, if you look at the numbers, just numbers, if you think about it, India plays, let's say, 15 test matches in a calendar year, and this is on the higher side. Let's uh, probability wise, let's say half of them are played in India. It would mean that of the 7 or 8 that are played in India, we will have to pick a new venue every on at least once a year. We have to pick a new venue. So that way, in the next 5 years, you will have 5 new venues in
Yeah.
5 different parts of India.
Right.
If we target this to make sure that the infrastructure is up there, to have the car parking, to have water,
Yeah.
to have all those things, hotels for players to stay in, you have to focus on money making business to actually grow the infrastructure there. So I think,
Yeah.
as Pankaj Tripathi says in Mirzapur, हम दोनों एक दूसरे से है. If
True, true, true. But in times of COVID, I think so they should have taken the matches to somewhere, perhaps a Dharamsala or I don't know. Dharamsala is not possible because it's in North India and it's very cold. But it should have gone to some smaller venue where the COVID count is also lesser. Anyways, we are divergent. Yeah.
no, and you mentioned that, and glad you mentioned that the fact that we have two more teams coming up in IPL 2022
Yeah.
will probably, I think, it will be a step in the right directions. We are taking sport deeper. IPL, and I have made a different show altogether about how IPL is actually helping infrastructure grow in smaller parts of the world. So I hope that happens. But again, coming back to this series and what is up in store for us, you spoke about England series. So the sad news from England series is that Jadeja is ruled out completely. And I say sad, but on the brighter side, now considering what we have seen, it means someone else. We will see a new
Yeah.
talent pop in that series as well.
Right. I think so. Kuldeep might get a chance in this
I
series.
I am hoping Kuldeep gets a chance. He is not as bad a bowler that he is completely sidelined.
They have just killed his confidence. I don't know
They
what has
have
happened.
they have for some reason killed his confidence, and maybe he needs to revisit
Bad?
not just Rahul Dravid but talk to Rahul Dhoni as to what was I doing different that I am being sidelined, and Dhoni
No,
will
I think
have tips for him.
the only grudge the team has with him is that he can't bat. That's the problem. But
But neither
I,
can Bumrah, neither can Siraj, neither can Saini, neither can you know.
yeah, yeah. So, but what happens is that he's a much better batsman. What you think? He is of the level of Sundar. Trust me, he can play like that. I have seen him bat. He has the capability, But the problem is, why ask him to do that? So that's the issue. But I'm looking forward to what the team combination would be, because it will be very hard to pick the team now. Very hard.
Beautiful headache to have, I guess. And so, all right. And I guess that's all that we have. One quick word of Shastri. I mean, we know we both don't really are big fans of him, but considering this series that we have seen, kudos to
You have
him.
to give it. Yeah, you have
Kudos
to
to
give it
him.
to him.
He has to be given credit for that, and that whole attitude that he says, "Bhad mein gaya pitch." He actually showed it in this in
Truly.
this
Now,
series. He did show it that "Bhad mein gaya pitch." If you have the players, you can execute it. It's all about execution, not about dressing
so
room banter.
that's the kind of attitude when it comes off, it looks very nice. But when
Yes,
you are losing, it's just like Rishabh Pant, you know.
if it comes
When
off, you get all the plaudits. You're right. But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it would be unfair to mention that Shastri has played a monumental role. He has actually, whatever talk was happening in the dressing room was positive. We could see it reflect on the pitch, and it was
that's
amazing.
required. I mean, being down and out, it is required. If you are told that, oh, you have played badly and you have done this, you have done that, it doesn't work in any sphere of life, not even corporates, nowhere. I mean,
Absolutely.
so I think so. He has done a great management job, and that's what I consider him to be. He's not a coach, he's a manager, and the management part he has done superbly, which was
Absolutely.
needed. And
Yeah,
yeah, kudos.
cannot take that away at all.
Yeah.
And on the finishing note, I would say that Team Rhythm was remembered for Team 36. Well, now we remembered as Team 32, begging the 32-year Gaba jinx.
Oh
So,
yes. That's like legendary stuff. Even the great Sachin couldn't do it. I mean, ever in his life.
absolutely. And
So,
yes, even Sachin couldn't do it. I mean, yes, he was the greatest player. He had a great team support as well. But let's face it, numbers will say he was not able to do it.
before I forget, the great captains couldn't even do it. Gangulis and Dhonis, nobody could do it.
They
So
couldn't do
it's
it.
a big achievement. And who Rahane did it of all people. So this is just amazing, man. This is like I went crazy that day. I cried, I laughed, and had a lot of fun.
And I can go on. We are running a little bit low on time, but Rahane
Yeah.
has an amazing story. If you think about it, Rahane was at the age of 13. I don't know if you have been to Mumbai as much, but Rahane lives in a part of Mumbai called Dombivli where
I
traffic
know that.
and
Yeah.
train stations are horrible, horrible. Rahane, as a kid, used to carry his backpack, and his dad would take him all the way to Mumbai, drop him, and pick him. He drives back, or he comes
Wow.
back in the train. The
Wow.
mental tenacity, and I'm talking about it from that perspective. But he used to
Mhm.
do that. Then eventually, that role was delegated to their neighbors who would travel in the same direction. So Rahane would go with them all the way out with his massive kit, and he would
Yeah.
take it on his shoulders, and he would go all the way down there. He'd come
Yeah.
back. So, I
Oh,
mean,
before
this
we
seems like
forget,
a little thing, but the fact that
before we
somebody is
forget,
willing to put those efforts.
yeah, before we forget, Natarajan's mother, is it? She's a laborer.
Yes,
Yeah, so she used to earn like what? Nothing almost.
peanuts,
Yeah,
peanuts,
so peanuts really. And now he has made all the format debuts in within 3 months.
3 months.
Goodness, has it ever happened? I am not aware
No,
about it.
no. This is the first time that a player has made debut in all three formats within a period of 3 months. He was taken in as a net bowler and managed to get all three. If you look at again at a different story, Shubman Gill, he used to live in the outskirts of some place in Haryana, and because he was playing
Chandigarh.
cricket, they took him
Okay,
back all the way. They moved, the whole family moved.
okay. So
Shardul
there are
Thakur,
some yeah,
Shardul
Siraj.
Thakur was taking a train. He was 80 kilometers away from Mumbai, so he would do that travel to come in and play every single time. He lives in Palghar. So that is again 80 kilometers away from where he was practicing every day. And it's, when you think about it from that perspective, these little stories would have never really come together. But
So basically, what you're saying is that cricketers and sports persons are not coming from the metropolitans.
they are not coming from metros. But the fact that they have endured all this as they were growing up also gives them that sense of mental, mental strength. That
Tough.
36, yeah, 36 all down, so what? And
Yeah.
I mean, philosophically, an arrow gets pulled back before it shoots. The further you pull it back, the further it goes forward. So
Beautiful stories have come out of this, and it's great. I think there should be a book written on this. I'm really I'm really looking forward to someone who could just come, maybe Rahane's autobiography, you know. That would be
absolutely,
a great. Oh,
I would read it.
do you know Ravi Shastri's autobiography is coming up this year?
I did not know that, but
Yeah.
it depends on what time of the day he has been writing it. If he is writing it in the evening, it will be all about how he likes it neat.
Oh
If it's in
yes.
the morning, it might be about the hangover he had from the previous
I
night.
think when the book launches, we should do a special one on this. What he has written in the book.
I would definitely like to talk about that with you, considering you're a book aficionado. So yeah, definitely, I would like to read about
That
that.
would be fun. That would be fun because he will reveal a lot. I'm sure about it.
Yeah, again, depends on what time he's writing. In the evening, I'm pretty sure after he's drunk, he's going to talk it all. So,
Yes, yes, yes.
all right.
I'm looking forward to the drunk part though.
All right. Well, that's all that I have, I guess, for today. We are running low on time. Thank you for coming here, Rohan. Before we go, please to hit the like button. If you have come this far, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, give us a shout out. And Rohan, who's probably a frequent fixture, I mean, frequent face on my show, I hope he continues coming to our shows going forward. Rohan, any final
Thank you
words?
for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me. I was thinking with whom I can talk about this great victory, and you invited me, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Always
Thank you.
a pleasure to be on the show, and looking forward to the audio podcast also, perhaps
I
later
am
this.
I am waiting for a few last things to finish up, but then I think I should be ready to go.
Right,
Well, thank you
perfect.
guys. Wherever you guys are, stay healthy, stay safe, and let's keep our fingers crossed and see some miracles happening against England as well. Thank you.